Hello, everyone, and welcome to Twillow Talk. I'm Tanis Coughlin from the Twillow Lifestyle community, and I am joined with my beautiful co-host, Jennifer. Do you want to say hi?
Hi, I am Jennifer Jurkofsky, and I am a teacher and practitioner with Twillow, as well as run my own business, My Holistic Self.
And we are super excited to have Calypso with us today. Welcome, Calypso. We're so excited that you joined us. So
very excited to be here. Thanks, Tanis and Jen.
Awesome. So why don't you tell our viewers a little bit about you? What do you do?
Well, I just moved to a beautiful city here in Southern California, so we're still settling in. My work schedule is a little crazy right now, but I am a psychic medium here in Southern California. I am a hypnotherapist specializing in past life regression and a practicing Celtic witch.
Awesome. Well, welcome.
And extraterrestrial enthusiasts. And I guess contact me. We'll throw that in there because it needs to be said.
It needs to be said.
Well, and that actually leads us right into something you guys are working on that you wanted to introduce today.
It does. So Calypso and
I'll let you tell that one, Tanis.
Well, we can have a little discussion. So Calypso and I are both galactic ambassadors. We are galactic ambassadors in the spiritual realms as well as in the 3D. So we are galactic ambassadors with the Alliance for Extraterrestrial Diplomatic Contact. And we are actually both going to be co-hosting another show called The Bridge to the where we're going to be interviewing all sorts of I got that right? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So we're going to be interviewing all sorts of awesome guests, all ET enthusiasts, and people that are big in the ET community. Yeah, members of the Alliance. Yeah. So we're going to talk about the Alliance and their mission and what we're working on as an Alliance. And all of that fun. And then we're going to have experts as well come on and we'll have discussions with them and all that stuff. So yeah. So we're excited.
Very excited. We have every reason to be excited.
we just came from a meeting about it actually. So we're like,
yeah, we did. That's where we got the name. We all agreed on the name today, Bridge to the Galaxy.
Yeah.
And I think
so
it's very
that's why I got this right? Because it's new. I want to make sure we're getting it right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
It's so exciting. Hi, everybody. You got all kinds of people popping up on here.
We do. Hello to Carnes and Denise. It's nice to see you all. Thanks for joining us. And, as you come on, we are here, and let us know if you have any questions or anything as we go along. And as per our usual Twillow lifestyle sort of, what we usually do is we pick a card. It's all about authentic conversation. And hello, Sue. Thanks for joining us. It's all about authentic conversation. And so we pick a card from this deck here, the Diana Cooper and Greg Stewart.
Oh, I love Diana Cooper. I didn't realize it was her deck.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She really inspired me when I was on my spiritual journey at the very beginning. I was like, Who is this amazing lady talking about unicorns?
Yeah, I think I might have her unicorn. Maybe it's her.
I think I have her deck.
I have her dragon deck.
Here.
I have her dragon deck.
I still have my unicorn to this day and everything and I connect with my unicorn every day and my dragon because she's so into dragons and they're always connected to me. Always. Every single day.
It's a beautiful deck.
Oh, yeah.
These have gorgeous artwork in them.
Very nice. Yeah. Love Diana Cooper.
So that's her cards are just really, they've got great information and they have awesome. So what we like to do is we pick a topic and then we're going to have just authentic conversation about the topic. So that's what our Twillow Talk, how it unfolds, what we say. So hello, Anne. Nice of you to join us. So
Hi.
let's pick a card. Hey, Mel. How's it going? There we go. It came out, jumped out. Oh, my. All right. So what have we got here? The card we have is Charm. So I'll read the card. Genuine charm comes from a love of life and interest in people. It can soothe the disrupted, reassure the doubtful, and light up the. It makes life happier and easier for the giver and receiver. When your intentions are pure, charm has a magical quality that enables your work and home life to flow more smoothly. Being pleasant, relaxed, and agreeable costs nothing, but the reward in terms of goodwill. Wisdom guides you today to be kind to yourself and amiable to others. And the affirmation is, I accept myself and others. That is pretty pertinent.
Yeah, that's good.
From that
It
perspective, isn't it? So
yeah.
Welcome, Liz.
Well, when you can't accept yourself, if people have a hard time accepting themselves, they are going to reflect that into their reality, and they're going to have a hard time having other people are going to have a hard time, accepting them. So rejection can just weed its way in there. So if you reject yourself in any way, it's going to magnify in your reality. You may get rejected in relationships, work, any kind of experiences where you just feel like you've just been, so I like this topic. This is good.
It is.
It has a lot of stuff attached to it, like, self-love, self-worth. Exactly. Even has a lot of magical stuff in there. It had a charm. The word charm is very magical. I was getting all kinds of hints of magic.
We can't not talk about charms if we have charm as a topic. So we're going to have to talk about magical charms too.
Yeah. Charms and spells.
What's interesting is I think about, like, for me with charm, like, that's what came to mind first, right? And the idea of to charm, and how that often comes with almost a negative connotation for a lot of people. And how really, though, it's about bringing into our lives and our experience what is rewarding and fulfilling and what brings us joy, right? And I loved the way that the card brought it home to self, right? And it's not about the charming in the other, it's about charming the self. And I loved that.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I like what you said
out your
there.
own magic. And bringing out your own magic.
Yeah.
Right?
And what charms you, because when you're being charmed by something and it's grabbing your attention, you're living and you're getting sucked into that joy. You're doing something that charms you, it's making you happy. That is the beginning stages of entering higher states of consciousness and creating more joy and peace in your life. Yeah. If something is charming you and pulling you into that, and it's getting your curiosity stirring and all of those amazing things, it just creates then you start charming other people. People start feeding off your light and your joy, and like, why are they feeling so joyful? And boy, they're so charming.
It's like that butterfly.
I like this card. It is. It is a total butterfly effect.
I always talk about how, like one high vibration person, like this was Wayne Dyer, right? One high vibration person can affect the vibration of 25,000 people. Butterfly effect.
Isn't that amazing?
It's pretty cool.
It is. Cool. It's that ripple effect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love too that they've incorporated the idea of kindness and compassion and gratitude, right, in all of that, and how it is those at harm and attract, right? Yes. And that it is not through a force of will or anything else, right? And I think that is such a powerful component to really bring out in the card, and I loved that aspect as well.
It's true. You said something.
Yeah.
Oh, you
That
said something
vibration.
there, and then I forgot. What did you say? It again, Jen. There was something there. It was like, oh yes, and then I just got lost.
Kindness, compassion, and gratitude is what is
Gratitude,
attracting.
that was it. Yes,
that.
Gratitude is the highest vibration.
Yeah.
It's
Gratitude and
something that
love.
I'm religiously now trying to practice every single day, because we always think love is the highest vibration. Yes, it is. But there's days when you don't feel love. There's days when you just don't feel loved and you don't feel like giving love. But there is always something about being able to stop what you're doing in a day, even if it's a wretched kind of day, and say, okay, all this has happened, but I can still practice gratitude, because dang it, I'm alive, I'm breathing. And you just bring yourself into your heart space for a few minutes and you practice gratitude. That is an amazing, amazing turnaround. And gratitude being the highest vibration, I know this to be a fact. I've seen it manifest in my life in amazing ways. But when you're grateful and you're in a space of gratitude for any length of time, the universe responds by giving you exactly that vibration. So who doesn't want more things to be grateful about?
Exactly.
So I love gratitude. When you said gratitude, I was just like, oh, yes.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Maybe, well, let's ask the audience too as well. So what I'd like to do is everybody out there, I'd like to put one thing.
Hi,
that you're
Anne. Sorry, I
grateful
see some of my friends on here. You know, this is the first time I've done the restream with you, Tanis, and I've seen it working. So I like this from, you know, logistics standpoint. So I just want to say hi to Sue and Anne. Hi, everybody. Thanks for hopping on. Hi, Greg, my bestie in Chicago. And Anne Pickley, who I've been friends with for so long. Herlinda, hello. Hi, everybody. I'm so glad you guys hopped on here. Stay tuned, because we have some amazing stuff to talk about. Tanis and I are going to be starting a show, a podcast, and we are just getting everything in the works, and you guys are going to love it. I am pedophile. Okay, well, you might want to get rid of that guy.
Yeah,
I don't know how you block him.
Working on it.
Sorry. Not something we want on our show, because we're all about high vibration here.
Yeah. All good.
Thanks, Tanis.
Taken care of.
See ya. Oh, well, okay. So thanks, everybody, for hopping on.
So what I'd like to do is have everybody put one thing that they're grateful for, or that let's start with the grateful, and then I want you to each put one thing that harms you in the. Okay.
Yeah.
While they're doing,
you guys can comment in the chat.
We can say one thing we're grateful for.
Or the comments.
So yeah, what are we grateful for?
So who's going first?
And family?
Yes. Yes. I am grateful for that new job I'm starting tomorrow.
Yeah. Awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm grateful for connection.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Where would we be without connection?
Mm-hmm.
We would be like an island and miserable.
Yeah.
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 Hi, Shauna.
Tanis, awesome. Can you block? Did you block that guy? And can you delete that? What he wrote?
I think it was
deleted online. I don't know if it's.
Yeah, I think it was deleted. It's all. I think we're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because his comment's still up there. I just don't want people to see it.
Oh, I don't see it on mine either.
Oh.
It might ask you to reload. I don't know if there's a little button for you to reload your chat. But
yeah,
you know,
but Shauna,
you know, it's
we have grateful for fur friends, the breath of life on earth. We have grateful for women intuitives that she connects with, and Herlinda is grateful for health. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Sorry, Jen, go ahead. I know it's always fun on these, you go back and forth and,
Yeah, no, it's fine. I was actually thinking and I was going to go through some of what was listed there, but you did it, so we're golden.
Perfect.
You know,
We
got it.
We got health. What do we got here?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
The women intuitives I connect with. Family and fur babies. Fur friends.
The fur babies.
Yeah.
Love the fur babies.
I got one behind me.
This one. I'm grateful for life. That's awesome. And we have a hello from Vita Moore. Hello, Vita Moore.
Hi, Vita Moore. Yeah, gratitude, it's even, I think in those days, because we all struggle, we have good days, bad days. If you can just create a time and space for yourself to practice gratitude. For me, I just do it in my ritual bath every night with a crystal on my head and another stone on my heart and my arms crossed over myself. And I just mentally go through my day. I just go through my day because sometimes we and you can start out corny, like I'm grateful for a roof over my head, but I tend to go through my day and then I pick out those people or situations and I just say I am so grateful, and whatever it is, my husband, the day I had. And then there's another trick that I've learned with gratitude is for manifesting as well, because we know the universe operates in a way that it whatever vibration and thought and belief we're holding, the universe presents that to us. So if we're in a space of gratitude, we're going to have more reasons to feel grateful. But on the other side note is that gratitude can also really help you manifest. So, and this is also goes into charms and spells, and it's even part of my witchcraft, is that when you want to manifest something, which I need a new car, we're looking for a car, a used car, new to me, and I sit there and I think how nice it's going to be to get in that new car, but I don't think I say it in a way that I'm already have that. So I say, I am grateful for my new car. I am grateful, let's say, if I didn't have this house, I'm grateful for my new house, which was what I was doing the whole time we were in escrow. I'm so grateful for my new house. But anytime you find yourself in that you desire something, you want to bring it into your life, use that gratitude and that emotion and that feeling as if you already have that thing to be grateful for. And you will be manifesting and drawing in all of those things. So it's a little magical, but yet it's also the way the universe operates.
Mm-hmm. And isn't that charming?
It is.
I know, corny.
Very. Charming.
It's
I love
true.
this word charm. It has so many little connotations.
Absolutely. So what do you find charming, Calypso? What charms you?
Oh, well, charming. I love nature. So that was one of the reasons why when we first moved here, we fell in love with this city. This is a new city for us. And we decided to explore. We couldn't wait to go up the mountain, which is only 7 miles. So just a few hop, skip, and a jump up the mountain here. And we found this beautiful mountain preserve up there. And we went hiking. And right next door was this beautiful orchard. And it's a family-owned business. And they have, petting zoo and great food and all kinds of things going on for family. And I thought, oh my God, I got to work here because I wanted to be in the mountains. I grew up in the mountains. I grew up in Arkansas, but I also grew up in the Pacific Northwest. And the mountains do something to me. They charm me, nature and the mountains. And I said, I got to work up here. And of course I got the job and manifested that into my life. But many things, charm, me. But I think nature, just even if I'm just in the car driving with my husband and we're just exploring and looking at things, and we're outside. I always tell my clients, you have two mothers. You have a birth mother and you have Mother Earth. And Mother Earth is such amazing vibration.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what kind of day you have. If you can get yourself out into nature, just even if it's just taking a walk and looking at a few flowers or the trees, you'll find your vibration just is automatically uplifted. So I just think nature is what charms me. And that just goes into all kinds of things because, being a Celtic witch and practicing and being connected to Mother Nature in that way, using the plants and everything in my spell work and stuff. It all goes back to nature for me.
Awesome. Yeah, I have to agree. I think that's a big one for me as well. Jen?
Yeah. Well, that's why there's, whole studies done on forest bathing and the impact that has, right? And there's whole, cultures that have that as part of their day and part of, their routine is to be able to go out and spend that time in nature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'm the same. I had to be in the trees, around water, in the mountains, exactly, as Shem said there. And I just, I feel like that is, a big piece. But I also find, I can get charmed by the tiniest little thing, right? I have that kind of wonder for things, right? It's like, oh, look at this little thing, and oh, look, my ring does this, and oh, I got to do right, and just having that ability to just find joy in the simplest aspects of life, right? I have a nice cold glass of water on a hot day, going for a car ride with the windows down and the air blowing.
I love that.
Like just all of I remember even when I was doing my Reiki Master years and years ago, and one of the assignments during one of the weeks was like, to find something to be grateful for every day that's different or that's unique in that experience. And I remember driving to work one day and thinking, dogs with their heads out of sunroof, because there was a car in front of me driving and there was a dog that was just loving life with his head out the sunroof.
I think I was a dog in a past life because I don't stick my head out the window, but I'm definitely like feeling the breeze with the window open, right? And my hair, my hair goes like, I look like a witch. Not that I don't always anyways, because I am, but the hair goes out like
the hair. I'm always worried about my hair if the window's down. I'm not a convertible kind of gal. I'm one of remember how in the 50s the women would wear the scarf over their head and the big sunglasses? And that would be me. If I had the scarf over my head. Otherwise, I'm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm like the. Good.
And my husband's like, why don't you want the window down? And I'm like, well, the hair is sticking to my mascara and my lip gloss, and I can't see.
That's why I put the sunglasses on, because at least I don't get the hair in the eyes, right? It flips forward, but I don't, Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think I was part dog in previous life.
Oh, don't you love them? I love dogs.
I do find that charm and being charmed can come from anything, right?
Yeah.
And just being able to have that.
Now, what about people?
Looking at things like a child would.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah, a child.
Getting joy from the little things.
Yeah.
That is our goal, to be honest.
Yeah.
Sometimes people get so jaded in life that they do so much all the time that they lose the joy of the simple pleasures. I know my kids were like this, like, oh, we're bored. I'm so bored. I'm so bored. And I find the kids that have gotten, and I was guilty of this with my kids because we lived in the city, but I find that kids that grow up in nature, their imagination is working a little bit better. They're getting outside, they're playing, they're engaging in that imagination. They're, but that's what we need to do. We have to get back to the simplistic way of life. They have the enthusiasm like we did when we were children.
Mm-hmm.
You know, children can have that ability to shut out the world and use that imagination and connect with anything outside in nature. You know, you could
Well, there's
climb
guides,
trees and
they feel the guides, they see them, you know, before they
yeah,
start to block that stuff out, right?
they don't
So,
know maybe what they're connecting with, but
yeah,
they're definitely tapped in for sure. And
it's
I
funny. This
remember
is
being a child, you could, it's when children pretend, you know, it's like time goes so quickly. And it was that ability to shut everything out. And you were actually, like, you know, when we connect to like our, when we're doing guided meditations and we want to start connecting to other realms of consciousness, we put ourselves visually into that. And the next thing you know, we're actually in that and we're feeling it. That's the same thing that children are doing. And they have that natural ability. Whereas when, you know, as we're entering higher stage of consciousness as adults, we're relearning all of that. But yet we're doing it with the intelligence that we've gained as being adults. And this is the exciting part
it is.
of higher states of consciousness. It's
I remember
entering
as
those
a kid,
other realms.
I remember as a kid going out, we had a willow tree. So this is actually where Twillow comes from. So we had a willow tree in our backyard when I was little. This when I was like 4. We lived in the country. And I remember going out under the willow, and it was a weeping willow, right? So we had this canopy, and
Gorgeous
it was
trees.
so peaceful under there. And I used to go out and I'd have like, you know, my Barbies or whatever I was playing with. And and I'd be out there, and I remember it feeling magical. I don't remember seeing beings, but I am sure that I felt them.
Yeah.
And I may have seen them and blocked it too, because that happens too. But so the willow tree has always been magical for me, and that's charming. That, right? And that's where Twillow comes from.
I was going to ask you where that came from, because I didn't know if it had anything to do with like a willow tree or anything, but they are the most majestic looking trees.
Well, it's also
have you
because
seen them all in New Orleans?
No, I haven't been to New Orleans. I want to go there. But,
you've got to go.
Yeah.
Where I grew up was also, there was weeping willow trees all over. And I remember as a kid, actually, my aunt telling me a story about Mary and baby Jesus hiding under a willow tree, and it protected them. And I don't know where she got it from, if it was a channeled thing or if it was actually something that she had read. But that was as a small child, I remember hearing that. And from that moment on, they took on a whole new meaning for me and a whole new charm, right? Because now not only are these beautiful, majestic trees, but they're also protection, and they represent that, you know, hugging us and covering us and protecting us. And so, you know, they had a whole new charm. And I think that also brings to like the different levels of, you know, how we can bring those kind of things in.
Absolutely. And
where did you grow up, Jen?
In Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah.
So
and you were always in Canada, right? Tanis?
I'm the Connect representative today. Yes. Jen lives here now.
Well, I was just wondering, because, you know, about the willow trees. So you had that willow tree. So they're up north.
Oh yeah, we've got lots of them here too. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So they're also the tree of knowledge, and they're strong. So that was the other reason that I chose it, because I first started Twillow Consulting, which is my HR company, and so I was bringing healing knowledge to organizations. And then I started Twillow Lifestyle, and so now it's healing knowledge to individuals. Flexible but strong is what you would get out of it.
It's important to be flexible. Yeah, for sure. Nobody wants rigid.
Well, and rigid breaks. Right? Whereas flexible can weather the storm. And I think that there is a, you know, again, bringing it back, there's a charm in that. But I want to go back really quick to something that Calypso had said about when you were talking about that childlike piece and kind of going back to it. And I think that as adults, we get so caught up in the responsibilities of life that we don't allow ourselves the ability to have that bliss, to have that ability to be charmed as much. Or if we do, we feel like we somehow have to rein it in because we'll get carried away or we won't be able to handle the responsibility. And I think this is where that kindness and compassion comes in, because we really have to be compassionate with ourselves and recognize that just because we're older and just because we have responsibilities, this is still a very important component of the reality that we need to make for ourselves.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. We have to be able to get into that heart space and find out what makes us, what charms us.
Mm-hmm.
Because what charms you is directly connected to your heart. And that, and this is my mission, is to tell people, you did not come here to suffer. You did not come here just to do and be on the hamster wheel of life, which is entangled in all of our responsibilities, that we have to make it a priority in our life to be living our joy.
Yeah.
And doing those things that charm us, doing those things that make us curious, like when we were kids. Because your energy becomes stagnant, you wither away. And you first wither away in your consciousness, and your spirit withers away. And then before you know it, your physical body, it affects your chakra system. And then you end up having a symptom in your body. So the most important message that I always try to make it in whatever it is I'm doing is to always remind people, what can you be doing today that makes you feel good? What brings you joy? It can be something like as simple as that cold glass of water on a hot day.
Yeah.
It can be the choice of doing a sink full of dirty dishes, that responsibility that you know you have to do. Or you can call up your girlfriend and say, let's go catch a movie together.
Yeah.
Every given moment of every day, we have a choice, and definitely make the choice to do something in your day that brightens your day and allows you to feel joy for a little while.
And likes coffee. I concur.
Well, and I think too, because I talk to clients a lot about finding joy as well and the importance of that. But I also talk a lot about perspective and the need to really challenge the way that we perceive something. Because we could take one thing and we can perceive it as something that is joyful, or we can perceive it as something that we have resistance to. Right? And so like just the dishes is such like a prime example, right? Because who wants to do the dishes? They're a pain in the butt. And yet like we can find joy in that, in gratitude for having the food that we ate, in joy for having running water, the ability to splash it around or spray your partner. Right? Being able to talk while we do it. So again, I think that yes, there are times where we have to say, forget it, I'm out of here and I'm going to go do something else that's going to really like lighten me up. And at the same time, I think that we need to also look at the things in our lives that we have deemed to not bring joy and kind of go, okay, where did this come from? This change in perception. And when did I lose my ability to find joy in the simple and in the day-to-day tasks that are things that we do eventually have to deal with? Can I bring joy into that? Can I find something to charm myself with in regards to that, to be able to let go of that resistance?
Yeah.
Right? Because now, life really is charming.
Yeah.
I feel like the spraying your partner part. I think I need.
Oh, that can be a lot of fun.
I take it I've already experienced this.
A lot of times when people start to become a victim in their responsibilities, they look at the things that they have to do in life as a torture. Or cleaning house. I know I used to do this. I think this is very common, especially with moms and ladies in general, when we're connected to the things that we have to do in our house that revolve around cleaning. But I did find that when I started living more joy in my life and making it an absolute point of my day to be doing something I enjoy, that carried over into my responsibilities.
Yeah.
And for any of our viewers listening, and speaking of dishes, Jen, when you were talking about dishes and spraying our partner, one of the most amazing things that started to happen, and I tell my clients this, and this ties into being a hypnotherapist and your spirit guides, is when you are doing those menial little tasks at home, those little responsibilities we don't like folding laundry or doing the dishes. Doing the dishes has become an amazing awakening for me. When your mind is in a place where you're focusing on something really intently, like doing the dishes, and you know, ladies, you can sit there and you can be thinking of your to-do list, or you can just be zoning out. You will get some of the best connections or aha moments when that conscious mind is focused on doing something. It's almost like being a guided meditation.
Yeah.
So I would have the habit of going outside and doing my yoga and then meditating. And if I ever had any questions or something that I needed to be enlightened on, or I needed an answer to, I'd ask my spirit guides, could you please give me some answers to whatever it is that I needed to know. And I would be going in and doing my dishes, cleaning up the breakfast and all of that. And then before I knew it, I'd start getting these little thoughts in my head. And they were answers to whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And that feeling, you're like, well, how do you know it's the answer? Because it just feels right. It resonates. It's like, oh my God, it makes sense now.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you start realizing that these times when you're doing all these things that we consider to be responsibilities, if you're connected in and you have that openness in your heart to connect with your higher self and your spirit guides, and I know people love connecting to their spirit guides. They always want to know their names and everything. They will answer, but they want you in that perfect place. So start cleaning the house and see what comes. And those responsibilities can start to turn in, oh, I got a session with my spirit guide. I got to go do the dishes. So I was always excited. I just turned around some of those things I hated doing into like, ooh, this could be fun.
Well, I think that's such an important piece, though, because the resistance that we have puts resistance up for everything. And then we're not open to receive, and we're not open to get those things that we want. But the moment that we let that resistance down, that's a beautiful example of what can come.
Whatever you resist persists. And if you don't want something to persist, let it go.
Yeah.
Just, don't put up that wall. Mm-hmm. We have to be open. We have to get rid of fear. Fear is it's the killer of so many things in our life.
It's true.
And, just going back to the child thing, children are not afraid. They're very open.
Yeah.
And when you can turn that around as an adult and you become very open and you don't put up those walls and you're not rigid, so many doors open for you. And don't be afraid to ask questions, and explore. A part of the fun and charm stuff is learning about yourself in the spiritual journey.
Well, that's our biggest learning, our biggest path, right? The self, our biggest mission, right? Is being here and getting to know ourselves and learning from all of those things in and through our lives, for sure. So I just want to say
people think it's selfish, but it's not.
Quick hello to Michelle Marie. She's another one of our teachers with the Twillow Lifestyle Academy. She and I do a show on Wednesday nights, and she's she brought up my video, a video in the fall last year. Of me playing. That's the one big play thing I do every year. So that's kind of like what you were talking about, Calypso, in making those menial tasks more fun. So we go and rake up all the leaves, and then before we put them in the bag, we like play
Yeah.
them. Actually, like, it was so thick that I'm gonna just fall back in this year. So that's what I did.
Oh yeah.
That's what
I
keeps me
can't. I
going.
love fall. I don't think there's anybody that doesn't like the fall season. I can't wait for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Michelle says fear and anxiety are rampant during these times. So remedies are key to finding balance. So she does a lot of Vedic remedies and yogic remedies. So she finds that
yoga is life. Yeah, and detach from the media. That's a big one. There's so many, things out there, on social media too. It's what you make it. You can make it to be fun and an experience of connection with other people, but you have to really disconnect from all the toxic media and try not to, binge watch all the news, because the aim is to bring you down in those platforms. I tell my clients, detach from the news. Don't get sucked up into that, because each person on this planet is creating their own reality and their experience. And whatever you're focused on, you're going to draw that into your reality.
Right.
And so we have to be very choosy, what type of reality we want for ourselves, And it's not being like we don't care about what's going on in the world, We do care, but that caring vibration, you can hold space and hold light for whatever's happening in the world, and then you can disconnect. You don't have to be, focus on it and draw it into your reality. And that's a whole other topic there, because a lot of people actually have a hard time with that. They think, well, you just don't care. You're living in la la land when all of this stuff is going on, and that's a whole other topic. But we do have a responsibility to ourselves to find those things in our life that we want to be a part of our reality. We have to be choosy. We have to be picky.
Mm-hmm. And discernment, right?
Yeah. And I think that this is a really big piece, going right back to the very beginning when we were talking about how charm also has that negative connotation. We can be charmed into things, or to following things, or to even believing things that aren't true or aren't real or aren't meant for us. And that can then take up our time, take up all of our consciousness, and move us away from where we want to go and what we want to do in our lives. And there's a lot out there that can charm us in a way that is not bringing us joy, that is not kind and compassionate. And so I think that when we talk about discernment piece, I think that is a really big component to all of it. And it's not a matter of I don't care or anything else. It's really about, what do I want to focus on, and where do I want my consciousness to be? I have a story that I tell clients sometimes, and it's something I read as a kid, and it has always stuck with me. And it's a zoologist and a banker are walking down a busy city street. I like to think of it as New York City, because, that's the busiest city street I can think of. And so they're walking down the street, and the zoologist says to his banker friend, "Wow, man, listen to that cricket." And the banker friend turns to the zoologist, and he's like, "How on earth do you hear a cricket amidst all of this honking and people yelling and all of these signs and everything else?" And the zoologist takes a coin out of his pocket, and he drops it to the ground, and a dozen heads turn. And he said, "We hear what we listen for." And I think that is such a powerful story, because when we talk about charmed, we are going to be charmed by what we're looking for. And that can be good, and that can be not so good. And so it's really important to pay attention to, what are we listening for? What are we trying to bring into our lives? Where are we putting our focus? Right? Because we're being charmed one way or another.
Yeah. And that's okay. I always tell my clients, you're going to get sucked into rabbit holes. You're going to get sucked into some stuff, because it's charming you. It's pulling you. It's pulling on your curiosity. And everything is valid for us. Everything, the good, the bad. This is the duality that we live in and that we hold as a human. So go down those rabbit holes, because that could be a good lesson for you to say, okay, went down that rabbit hole, didn't feel so great, didn't like it. I know it. And those consequences I just didn't like. But I sure did learn that, if I didn't go down that rabbit hole, that, now I know. So always, being charmed, we can be charmed for sure by so many different things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people that have gone down the rabbit hole a few times, they're like, okay, not going down there again. They start to realize what's really in tune with their spirit, that you definitely start to know your spirit for sure, what feels right. So that was a good point, Jen. Yeah, we get charmed by so many things in life, and it can be scary, but sometimes you need to be scared.
Yeah. Well, and again, it comes back to that gratitude piece, right? If I go down that rabbit hole and then I sit there and I pout and I think, why am I down this rabbit hole again? And why shouldn't I go down here? I don't want to, I can't get out of here, right? Now I'm stuck in the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And now it has me, as opposed to bringing that gratitude in and going, okay, I learned this is not a hole I want to go down again. Now, right? What can I do? What resources can I pull? What kind of things can I bring in to help me get out of this?
Yeah.
Or to help me not go there again. Right.
Yeah.
And so, I always quote Shakespeare in that nothing is, good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Everything is just experience.
It is.
Yeah.
Everything is just an experience.
Yeah.
Perception is our reality.
If you find yourself feeling, because people get sucked into the rabbit hole, and then, so if you're feeling, if you're having stress, your anxiety and your stress is going up. If you're falling into you realize you don't trust, because this is a big thing also in the spiritual community. I've seen a lot of it happen, especially during the QAnon movement. A lot of people went down all these rabbit holes, and they became so fearful of, government, Illuminati, all of these things that you start to kind of expose yourself to when you're in the spiritual community a little bit. When you find yourself in those places where you're just so fearful and you feel like you're a victim, you've been lied to all these years, that is not finding your peace and joy. You're living, you're put yourself into a bubble where you just feel like the world is against you and you're an island. Mm-hmm. If that happens to you, you have to almost slap yourself and give yourself a wake-up call and say, okay, went down this rabbit hole. I'm feeling all of these things. This is not what higher states of consciousness are supposed to feel like. Anytime you start to feel like a victim, your fear goes up, you have distrust. Even if you become a vegetarian and you're starting to be paranoid about all the stuff they're putting in your food, that's another wormhole that you've gotten yourself into, that, when your place, the best place for you to be is when you're thriving in joy. Mm-hmm. Then you know that you are entering higher states of consciousness. Then you know you're in alignment. I've seen this so many times in my work, where people have just fallen into these places where their curiosity led them down this media thing or this theory or this YouTube channel, and they've lost all their peace, and they've just become very jaded and afraid of everything and everyone. You are not meant to be here and to live like that. You are meant here to be here and to create a space and reality for yourself that is in alignment with your heart, and to find joy and peace. So this was a big thing that I've really had to work with my clients on. Mm-hmm. These distractions and things that charm us,
Yeah, because the fear stuff is an illusion.
It is.
Because we are love, that we have that divine inner peace. We just have to tap into it, right? Which is not always easy as a human. Don't get me wrong. Those human emotions come up for all one point or another.
Oh yeah.
But you know, it's nice to know that we are always love, have inner love. Right, Jen?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I just want to go to Michelle's comment here about, it says, we bought a farm share after I had a nightmare about what they're putting in our food. My anxiety has lessened and I get to cook more. And I think that this is a great example too of what, you know, you were saying about like everything has value, right? And so even that fear has value. And I think that it is an important piece, right? When we have these different feelings that come in, and again, we judge that certain things are good and certain things are bad, right? And if I'm happy, that's good. And if I'm sad, that's bad, right? And I love Rumi's The Guest House. And if you don't know it, look it up. It is an amazing poem. And it just talks about all of these different emotions and how, we're here to welcome them all.
Yeah.
You know, even the anger, even the despair, we're here to welcome it all because it might be coming to clear us out for something better, right? And I love using that idea that all of these messages, all of these emotions are here as messengers. They are not who we are. They are not our state of being. They are messengers that are coming to tell us that something needs to change, that something's not okay.
Yeah.
Right? And as long as we can get the message and not grab hold of the message or the messenger, right, and try to identify as that, then we can have these opportunities, like Michelle said here, where that fear has been now transmuted, right, to action, to something that is now super rewarding and really beneficial. And I think that that's just a really important piece too, right? Because we can even be charmed by the emotions that show up. And we somehow all of a sudden think, right, I am depressed, as opposed to I'm feeling depression.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I am angry. No, I'm feeling anger. Right?
Yeah.
But that charm comes in and all of a sudden it is who we are. And it's like, well, no, it's an experience.
Yeah.
Right? And we can move on.
Allowing them to flow through the emotions rather than hanging on to them. So
we've been taught that, sadly, in the Western world, to hang on for dear life to those emotions.
There's a beautiful message from Linda. I'm so grateful that I'm watching you girls tonight. You're all so positive, inspirational, and the wisdom you all share is without a doubt what I needed to hear tonight. Much love, beautiful blessings to you and yours, Bonnie from Bonnie, Scotland. Thank you so
Bonnie,
much,
Scotland.
It's
Scotland. Okay, I couldn't resist.
Thank you so much, Linda. We're so thrilled that you joined us. So,
it's been so much fun. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, it's been great. We still have a few minutes left. I just wanted to put that up because I don't know if Linda is leaving. I just wanted to acknowledge it and for sharing your energy, Linda. We have. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You can put it up. I was just going to say there's a comment about allowing it being hard, right? Allowing is the hardest thing for me because I have used control to cope for such a long time. And I think that we get to a place where we recognize that finally, that control isn't doing it. And I'm not actually coping. I'm barely getting through. And then it gives us that opportunity to let go.
Yeah.
Let go and flow.
You just brought up something important that I think a lot of people try to do when they're trying to gain control is they try to control others as well. And one of the things that I've always made sure I've told everybody in my work, and this is very hard for most people, is that the people in your life, you have all different types of people in your life. It is not your job to change them. And this is where the control comes in.
Yep.
We think that, if this person just didn't do this, our relationship would be so much better. The most important thing that I also try to convey to people is love people as they are. warts and all. You cannot change anybody, not even your children. You can guide them and lead them, and but you can't change them. And you definitely can't change your spouse or your partner or whoever, or your mom or your dad or whoever is, you find that difficulty in that relationship, that you will find almost instantaneously, if you can get into that space of just accepting the person as they are, telling yourself, I can't change that person. That person, it may stay them. Look at that person as they are at that moment, and never changing. They may never change. But if you can get into the space of just accepting that person as they are, with their warts and all, you're going to find that your relationships are going to blossom and grow. And I've had to have a lot of conversations with a lot of moms. This is one of the hardest things for moms to do as their children are growing into teenagers, those teenage years, is just to let go of the control a little bit. In our one of the sayings was, untie those apron strings a little bit, and just let go a little bit, and accept your teenager as they are. Don't try to change them. They may be doing some stuff that you're just like, oh my God, you have your rules set in place and certain things, but there is a lot of resistance. Whatever you resist, persist. And that could be all those little things that you're resisting within the relationships that you're having with people. And if you can just open up yourself and get into the space of just accepting, and of course, put on maybe some days rose-colored glasses and try to find the good in the relationship and the good that you in that person, which can be hard for some people. Some people are dealing with maybe a lot of abuse or whatever. That's a whole other story. But just acceptance,
You talk about rose-colored glasses. I used to go, when I was a manager, I would keep Groucho Marx glasses in my drawer. To bring, right? I'd bring joy. Because we'd have those days at the office, right? Where everybody was, right? So I would put on my Groucho Marx glasses and walk down to the photocopy room or go and get a coffee in the lunchroom. Just to lighten the air.
There's a comment here, whatever you resist persists, with a question mark, and then it says, whoa. Betsy. One of the kind of examples that I love to use with clients on this is, if I say to you, we're going to do an experiment, okay? I want everybody to just imagine with me. Okay, think about whatever you do, don't think about a white elephant. I don't care what you think about. Do not think about a big, majestic, beautiful white elephant. Don't think about his big, long, thick white trunk. Don't think about those powerful, big white tusks. Whatever you do, do not think about his big white ears and just how they flash and blow the wind around. Do not think about a big white elephant. Don't picture him walking on the savannah. Do not picture him stopping at the water. Whatever you do, don't think about a big white elephant. What is everybody thinking about?
Pink.
Right? Normally, no matter what you do, that elephant is there, right? It's somewhere there, because all of that resistance is still putting all of the attention on it. Right? But if instead I said, don't think about a white elephant. I want you to think about a big, beautiful purple and pink unicorn, Pegasus. Okay, I want you to think about the mane on this Pegasus and how it's striped with these beautiful colors cascading down his neck. And the tail is just flicking. Now think about those wings. Oh my goodness, this Pegasus is gorgeous. There's purple and pink and it's sparkling. Now just think about getting on his back and going for a ride. You're soaring on this beautiful Pegasus unicorn, right? You're going over the ocean and along the beach. Just now picture, right now, the white elephant is probably not there.
Yeah.
If we're really paying attention, right? And so this idea of, resist something, we're still putting all of our energy in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so it still has us, and it still has us charmed.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right.
But if we can redirect that, instead of saying, I don't want this, exactly what you were saying earlier about using that charm to bring in or to look at what I do want, how much further along are we? And we're not having that resistance. It's not coming back after us over and over again. We're not constantly trying to push it away.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that we just have not been taught properly. You know, a lot of people think of all the things in their life that they just don't like, and they so desperately want to change them, but yet they don't know how.
Mm-hmm.
And it all just is actually just a trick of the mind. It's a Jedi mind trick. It's just changing your thought pattern. Yeah.
Tap into
Literally.
the force.
The force. Just tap into your mind and start reprogramming your thought patterns. Instead of saying, I don't like all of these things or this that's happening, or I don't like what's happening at work or in my relationship. Practice gratitude. Look at the things that are going right in it, and then start telling yourself the things that you do want to happen, but say them in a way that you already have them in the gratitude, like you're practicing. Yes, like you're practicing gratitude.
Yeah,
and that will start changing things in your life. It's just mindfulness,
Yeah.
Mindfulness is so, I always said a little bit of Buddhism and mindfulness will go a long ways. If we would have learned many of the Eastern philosophies and techniques in the Western world here, things would be going a lot smoother.
Earlier. Yeah. A lot of practices I think could be having in schools, that we don't.
Yes.
That we don't have in schools.
Yes.
So,
I think all that starts with the parents, little by little, entering higher states of consciousness. I think that was also a big part of the pandemic.
Yeah.
In a certain kind of way, it's got parents thinking, outside of the box, maybe not going into work, working from home, maybe not sending my kid to public schools, maybe doing homeschooling, and then allowing, all of these things to evolve. And little by little, it changes our world.
It does indeed. Well, it looks like we've lost Jen.
I know, she just disappeared. She probably ran to the restroom or something, or maybe it was a technical problem.
Yeah, I think it's a technical issue.
Yeah.
She's just trying to get on again, but we are at the end of our show.
Yes.
So let's wrap it up, I guess. So we will thank Jen for being on.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
It
was wonderful to connect with Jen.
She has My Holistic Self, and she's a teacher with Lifestyle Academy and a practitioner with Twillow Lifestyle Community. And I want to thank Calypso for joining us today and sharing your beautiful energy with all of our viewers and with us.
Having me.
It's such an honor to the screen with you. Oh, here, I think Jen's back. There we are. Hello. We're just saying our goodbyes.
Oh, I thought I had a minute with that battery, and it just died. So.
Oh. Awesome. Well, thanks for coming back on. So if you want to just say a quick thank you and whatever you want to, we're just wrapping up King Calypso. And
oh, perfect. Yes, it was an absolute pleasure being able to talk to you about charm and chatting again and hearing more about the show that you guys are going to be doing. soon.
Oh, yes. Very excited. Everybody stay tuned because Tanis and I will be having an amazing podcast and lots of amazing guests coming up. We're working on that. I'm thinking September, huh? September, we're probably going to be launching for sure.
Yeah. I think September is going to be probably a great time to start.
Yes,
so
I think so
tune
too.
Guys. Bridge to the Galaxy coming soon with Calypso and I, and the Alliance for Extraterrestrial Diplomatic Contact, and all of those missions. So very exciting note, everyone. The schedule is up on twillowlifestyle.ca for classes at the Twillow Lifestyle Academy. And we're forward to a great new year. We've got a bunch of new classes on there. So please take a look. And here's one of our other teachers just joined us here, Jacqueline. She's doing yoga. So she will be doing yoga mornings online, 9:30 a.m. So,
Great.
Take a look at that. And so we are super excited. So I'll just read our little affirmation again for today. We've had, the card was charm. So that was our topic.
That was a great card. My word.
It was. And our affirmation was, I accept myself and others. So we not only you all, we are grateful to all of you for joining us today. And we wish you much, much love. And thank you both for sharing your energy with us all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Latu, everyone. Sending love.
There it is. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Tanis. Thank you, Jen.